Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. We are day one of practice. I'm going to try to bring you guys along a little bit through practice. Now, I'm not going to put together huge videos based on it just because a 14-hour day would be a pain to try to edit at the end of each day of practice. But I do want to bring you along, just give you a little bit of an idea as to what I'm doing, what I'm concentrating on, and what I'm trying to figure out. And in this case, it's we're probably 2 hours into the day, and you guys are probably looking at this going, that's not Sam Rayburn. You should be out throwing a jig head minnow. Well, I wanted to get this out of my head. And this is just an area that I've wanted to fish for a while. And the last couple times I've been here, conditions were not right. And I feel like it could be really good, especially considering the water temps are in the low 60s. And I think there are fish that are up. There's fish that are spawning, just like that. And not the size we're after by any means, but we're getting a couple of bites. We've had one nice bite, 1 3.5. We've had this guy, looks like a skinny little male. Missed another one, but the first hour of the morning was really just kind of driving around, figuring out how to get here, how to just really take the whole area in. And I only feel like I've really been fishing anything that felt decent for the last hour. So we've had a couple bites. Don't necessarily want to come up here for a fish like that. You know, this is going to be one of those events where you probably need 15 a day for 2 days to get paid, which is not a tall, or not. It's one of those things, like there's times on Rayburn where 15 a day you feel like, yeah, that's an easy thing. And then there's times on Rayburn where you feel like it's not anything special. So I don't know. I mean, we're just really, like I said, getting it out of our head. You know, I know everyone's going to be doing the minnow deal, and that's probably how it's going to be won. But that doesn't mean you can't catch really good bags doing everything else. I mean, Rayburn has been a killer lake for a long time. It's been known as a trap lake, you know, a lipless crankbait lake and a crankbait lake. And when they're up shallow, like, this stuff can be amazing. And one big bite each day can get you to what you're looking for in terms of weight wise. So I just want to see, I feel like this is going to give me a better idea as to what stage the fish are in too. Like, if there's a lot of fish that are up shallow, it gives me more confidence to do it, but it also means, you know, that they're probably closer along in the spawn. You know, with low water temps, I know there's some fish that are spawning. There's not a doubt in my mind that there are some that are doing it. And not that that's necessarily the fish that you want to catch, because males are generally smaller. I don't know what I got there. But a lot of times they can clue you into where the females are too. And that's kind of what we're hoping. We're trying to find a few fish, trying to find where their counterparts are, and put together a good tournament. So right now, you know, I've had a couple bites on the Ozark rig with the Max Scent Creature Hog, and then I had one on a vibrating jig. And this is one of the few areas where I've actually been able to get to the bank. You know, the water's still a little bit high here. It's a little bit over full pool, and when you come up any of the big arms, the backs of them are all really swampy. Lots of cypress trees, lots of bushes, and you know, you kind of start to lose contact with the bank. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it's better that I got to the bank, but it's just one of those things where I do have the bank here, and that's an irregularity for me so far today. So it'll be interesting to see if we get a couple of bites on this little stretch. If it is, then you can maybe start thinking that there could be something to that. But so we're gonna, right now we've been throwing a lot of the, like I said, the Ozark rig is what we had 2 bites on. We had one on the vibrite and jig, but we've been just trying to cover water too. Like, I'm not really soaking anything. I'm just trying to find little stretches. And if I do that with the moving bait, I feel like I could probably go back and slow down in the tournament if I need to. But if it's kind of some more of this little isolated stuff, I'd rather just pitch it, because it's more of a direct cast at this point anyways. And this is what I would love to be doing. It's been a really, you know, I've been here, I got into town yesterday. I've run into so many other guys, you know, doing groceries and just doing a little bit of everything. And it's really interesting to hear the conversation, because it's almost all forward facing based. And the funny thing is, nobody that I've talked to feels like it's a good thing for the sport. Well, I don't get, young or old, nobody really, when they sit back and take it all in, nobody has been like, oh, this is the best thing that, you know, can happen. There's definitely guys that are in favor of it because they feel like it gives them the advantage. But even the ones that I've talked to, have all been like, yeah, I mean, it's hurting sales across the board. And it's hurting, you know, I talked to one guy yesterday who felt like it was really hurting tournament participation. You know, being that the tournaments are down everywhere. And, you know, I guess I don't have anything to necessarily say that's true or not, other than when I do look at some of the bigger level tournaments, that the participation is definitely way down. I can't speak for the local level, so whether that's part of it or not, I don't know. But you know, it's been a lot of conversation so far about it. And the other aspect to that is there's a lot of people that just feel like they're coming here, and, you know, the reality is there's going to be somebody that probably scopes up potentially record weight bags, you know, 30 pounds a day. There was a tournament one on Saturday, a local tournament with 40 some pounds, 41 pounds or something like that. And that never, I mean, that has happened before, but the idea that that happens all the time, you know, or will happen, and that it's going to take monster weights, that really was never the issue before. Now it's always a question of, well, how much weight is it going to take versus are guys going to catch them? And there's a lot of guys I've talked to that feel like they're coming here and they're hoping to cash a check and not potentially fish for the win. And, you know, not that I'm necessarily saying I'm not going to fish for the win. I don't feel like I'm fishing for the win right now, which in the past I would have said, yeah, you could win doing this. You know, you could put together 3 20-pound bags, and that's just not going to be enough this time. But, you know, when you're fishing the opens right now, the way they've got it structured, you're not, I mean, you're fishing for the win, obviously, but you're fishing for points more than anything, because the goal is to make the top 50 in points after the 4 tournaments, and then get into the EQs, which gives you a shot at making the elites. And, you know, from that standpoint, an angler has to recognize that consistency is really king in this. You know, you don't need to have killer tournaments to get through the first 4 events, which are the first 4 events that'll probably be dominated more so by forward facing than the EQs. And, you know, that means you're looking to make it through the event. Well, guys, we're getting a few bites. I mean, they're just, I'd like to see a big female. You know, it's fun fishing, but I need to feel very confident that I can catch 15 pounds. I do really like the watercolor, but we do have a bunch of rain coming supposedly Tuesday and Wednesday before the storm, or before the tournament, and not sure what that's gonna do to this stuff up here. But I mean, it feels good. It's just not getting the size that I would really like to be getting. And I know I could slow down and fish some of this. There's just so much of it. You wouldn't see anything if I did that. So we'll keep grinding. Keep grinding. The other thing I want to point out is generally I don't catch many fish during practice. I cover up all my hooks. In this case, I'm really, you know, on a lake like this, you really need to be fishing for the right caliber fish. And you know, it's one thing to shake off fish, but it's really difficult to tell the difference between a 2-pound fish and a 4-pound fish. It's easy to tell the difference between a 2+ pound fish and a 12-inch fish, but it's not that easy to do it when you start talking about fish over 2 pounds. So I'm actually catching a few, you know, shaking them off if I have the opportunity to, or if I happen to see the fish and I can pull the bait away. But in this case right now, I'm okay catching a few because I'm really just trying to learn the area and make sure that the caliber is as good as it needs to be to compete. Well, it's lunchtime update. It hasn't gotten any better. It's probably gotten a little worse. Not sure, really thought the bite would get better once the sun got up. And it hasn't, so I don't know if it's an area thing, or if it's just for whatever reason the bite's not gone good, or I don't know. But we're committed to doing this all day. I have seen enough, and I like doing this enough that we're committed to doing this. And this is the joys of practice. So this looks pretty good. I will say I've gone over a lot of stuff that did not look great. Like definitely seemed like there's a depth zone. Definitely seems like there's a structure that the bites have come off of. It's just a matter of finding it. And the problem is it's so hard. When you're fishing this stuff, it's so hard to just like look across the lake and determine what you're looking at, because everything just blends in. So a lot of times you actually have to fish it, which is a timely endeavor. Well, we're nearing the end of the day. It's about 4 o'clock. We've got a little bit of time left to fish. Can't say I have figured out any phenomenal deal. Can definitely get bit. I got a feeling everyone's getting bit though. I mean, I think you'd be able to do this, beat the bank. I think you could probably go and throw a minnow. I mean, I did that for about an hour and a half and caught a pile of catfish doing it. Got a headache and my back started hurting. So we transferred back to just having some fun. And like I said, I mean, getting bites, there's just, I would love to see some big females up, and that has not been the case at all, which is a little concerning because I don't know that. Just like that. That was like a 2-pounder. I just don't know that. I just don't know that we're gonna have new ones coming in, but there's still gonna be, you know, another day and a half of good weather too, though. That could bring some fresh fish in. I don't feel like they're gonna be moving away. I feel like they should only be moving in, even with the cold front. I just don't. I think it's gonna slow things down a little bit, especially in the morning. But this is our Cadillac color. It looks so good in the water. Decent one, almost 3 pounds. Oh, you just gotta fish a bunch of it. I mean, I don't know, guys. We probably had 15 pounds today, which is not like super ideal. It's not terrible. It's I mean, you know, I think I think you'll probably be right on the cut line or right on the check line with 15 a day. So I mean, it would be a good finish, and I feel like this is really about finding stretches. You know, this pocket, that's the 5th bite I've had in this pocket here, and you know, a couple of them were okay, a couple of them were just small little fish or small keepers, but definitely generating bites. I have yet to see a big one. You know, that's what I really would like to see, and have not seen it yet. But first day of practice, I don't know what to think, but we're about done. So I'll end it with this. Man, you know, it's typical Rayburn. I feel like you can catch fish, just got to figure out how to catch the big ones. And I know this is not like the winning pattern right now, but I also feel like it's definitely good enough to cash a check and get out of here with really solid points. And this is how I love to fish, guys. Like, I love to fish this way. So anyways, I'll let all you go. It's, what time is it? 5:41, sunset's at 6 roughly. We got to be off shortly thereafter, plus the Super Bowl's tonight. So I'll probably finish this little stretch out and go put it on the trailer. Long day of fishing, always fun. Thanks for following along, guys. I appreciate all of you.